Welcome to part 3B of our plotting using Google Sheets. Now, in the first half of part 3, I showed you how to remove the data, and it's a very manual process, but I think there's an easier way to do this where you don't have to remove the data. So now on the screen, you're seeing what's called an untitled spreadsheet. So we'll call this Unit05 Google plotting. So you give it a name up here. Now these columns, I have to do a little bit of data prep, so you have to bear with me. So the first A through Z columns are my ambient weather data. So here it goes from, it hasn't been sorted, so we'll go through all those steps again. And then what I did is over on the right, I pasted the National Weather Service station data. So this is PAFA. It starts on the 1st and it goes to the 12th. And these are the fields that I downloaded. So now the first thing we want to do is we want to delete the columns we don't want. So right click and where is this? Delete. Then we have outdoor temperature we don't want feels like, just we're not going to look at that. We want outdoor dew point, wind speed. We don't need wind gust. We don't need maximum daily gust. You can keep these in here. I'm just doing this to clean things up, make it a little easier. The rain is, unless you're in Juneau or in Kodiak, I don't know if it's worth including the rain. It's not worth including the rain because it's not accurate. It's not correct. So I delete those columns. Now I have pressure, relative pressure. And in this column, I have actually, these are going to be the same days that I used in the screencast example that I gave you on Monday or Tuesday earlier this week. Here's the relative pressure in hectopascals. Oh, let me go over here and do the format wrap so I can read the variables. It drives me nuts when you can't read it. And then the other thing I like to do is freeze, because then if I scroll down, I still know what column I'm in. So I have the pressure in inches mercury as well as in hectopascals. I have humidity. I don't need the UV. So I'm going to delete that. Solar radiation I like. All the indoor stuff I don't need. We will look at some of the indoor stuff later. When we do the humidity. So I'm going to delete columns J through O. All right. I often like shading things just so I can see. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Click. You click in this letter box to highlight the whole column. So I'm going to color this blue so I can see where it separates over. So now I want to first make sure that my date, and Google knows this is date and time. So you often have to format data. This is number, pick number, and you go down to date and time, since it's down to the minute. You want the date and time to be in the same format for the weather station. So I'm going to do format, number, date and time. So I've done that. I think I've deleted all the unnecessary columns over here, more or less. So we have pressure here, relative pressure in inches mercury. Actually, I probably don't need these 3 columns, right? I just need dew point, relative humidity, wind speed, wind direction, and the pressure. So I'm going to delete these just so we have fewer things to confuse us. So now I have my weather station data off to the right, and I have my data over here. Now you will notice ambient weather data needs to be ordered. The Fairbanks station data is already ordered, and there's a lot more of the weather station, personal weather station data, and it starts with the 5th here. So now I'm going to data, sort range, advanced range sorting options. I want to use the header so it doesn't change the header, and I want it to sort by simple date from A to Z. So put that in order. So now the 12th is down here, and the earliest date should be up here. So I'm looking at data between the 5th and the 10th. So let me get rid of let me get rid of these anything unessential. So 9th, I want the 10th. Sorry, I'm scrolling past you. It's probably headache inducing, but I just want to step through everything. So I pick this. So everything from 11th till the end, I don't want because I don't want to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to hit delete and that clears it. Now, this is kind of clever. I can pick all of this data. This took me a while to figure out. And there were lots of different possibilities, but the internet is amazing. People have tried everything. And what's great is they share what they learned. So I'm picking all of the, I just want to pick the dates here. I'm going to do a copy and I'm going to add the dates. So what I showed you in the first half was how to find the nearest time to what's at the National Weather Service weather station. So then you can match up the dates. And that's what I was doing with all that manual work. But now there's another trick you can use. Let's copy all these dates and let's put them at the very bottom here. And I'll show you what we do. I'm just going to add those dates right there. So now I have all the dates and times that go with the Fairbanks weather station. Now I copy this data. Oh, sorry. Trying to rush and that often. So I'm scrolling down. Okay, so I do a command copy. And then what you do is you go down here to where the weather station dates are, and you paste it in the same columns, but down below. And now what we will do is we will delete the date column from here. We'll get rid of this. We're going to delete this column, and we're going to clear this data that's at the top. So basically, we've just moved this data to the bottom. Okay, so now we have the date down here. So you didn't have to do any of the manual adjusting and make sure this is on the same column, and this is temperature. So we made sure we put things in the right column. We got rid of the second date column. Now what we can do is we can pick everything and we sort again. And we sort by simple date, format, data, sort range. We have to do the complicated sort, leave the data headers. We do by simple date and you sort. Oh, I know what happened. Sorry about that. What happened was I did not make sure that these were in the correct date format. So I think it did not know that these were date. I forgot to format that column, I believe. So we do format. So you see things, I practiced this before and things still went wrong. Now let's see if we can pick everything. And again, try not to get frustrated when things go wrong so leave the header, simple date column that I'm sorting, right? And then I sort. And I have the 11th here. I can get rid of this. I guess I forgot to delete the 11th. This looks correct. So I did 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So I have 6 days. So now, why the heck did it move all this stuff over here? Hang on. Huh. I'm going to stop my video for a minute, figure this out. All right, I know what's happened. I'm back after a pause. So you don't have to watch me struggling. So if I go down here to the Weather Service, why I had that data there was I have the 1st. I have extra days of data, so I don't want that. I want only the 5th. So I'm going to delete everything up to the 5th. So delete those rows. So now I have data for the Weather Service station from the 5th through the 10th, and my ambient weather station is from the 5th through the 10th. So I have the exact same days. Now let me pick everything. I didn't get the header this time, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to sort. So I picked everything. I go to data, I go to sort range, go to advanced range sorting, column A, no header, sort. Again, I have extra data here from the Weather Service from the 11th on, and I'm going to delete that because I don't want that to show up in my plots. Edit, delete those rows. So now you can see what's happened is the weather station data is interspersed, and there's only one x-axis, and it doesn't have data for the ambient station, but it does for the Weather Service station on the 53-hour. And there are probably places where there's data for both, but I'm not seeing it. Well, I guess it put it in separately. Interesting. Okay, it repeated it. Yeah, I guess that, I don't think it matters. This is fine for our purposes. So now we have the data totally prepared. We have the ambient weather station data on the left, we have this blue column, and then we have the Fairbanks weather station data on the right. So now we're going to do insert. Okay. There's several ways you can make these plots. You can choose the columns. So I choose column A, column B, and then column A, command column B, and then command column K. So this way you only pick those 3 columns, and we do insert chart. Looks ugly. You go over here and you click and you say edit chart. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Now, what it's done is it's put, it hasn't given us an x-axis, so we want to make sure we have an x-axis. So we ask, so the data goes from A1, I always write this down on a piece of paper, A1 to A2076, and then we have column B, and we have column K. All right, so we want to add an x-axis, and here it's simple date. So now it's put the simple date on the x-axis. And then if you think of the things that are plotted for Y, the simple date is also plotted. So we want to remove that because we don't want date against date. And now we're left with the outdoor temperature, and you can give this whatever label you want. You could say my station. So whatever you label it here will show up in the legend. And this is the Fairbanks station, which I had labeled PAFAT in Fahrenheit. And the Fairbanks station shows up as these dots. And these stations are dots also, but the dots are very close together. Let's make it a little bit bigger. But I will give anybody 10 points bonus if you can figure out how to make this second axis have a line. It'll work fine with the dots. You can compare the values, but I could not figure it out. And after spending a half an hour doing it, it's not worth it. This is good enough for our purposes. You can go and you can customize the plot and do fancy things, but this is good enough. This is actually getting you a very nice plot that has an x-axis label. It has the Y. It doesn't have a legend. I think you add a legend and customize, but I think you can figure that out. I don't want to make this too long. Similarly, let me make a plot of dew point. Pick this column, and this column, and then I'll insert a chart. And again, it does the same kind of goofy thing, but we can it somehow likes the column charts. We do that, make it a line. We have to get rid of this line, and there it is. Voila, we have our dew point temperature versus the Fairbanks dew point. So these will be similar to the plots that are in my screencast. So again, a bit of data preparation gets you to the plots very quickly. All right, I think you guys are ready to go, and I will stop talking at you.